Hello and welcome everybody to Climate Transformation Summit 2025 in beautiful Berlin at Impact Hub. We just had 2 full days that were packed with a lot of action. Action on what? Scope 3. So let's have a look at what the others say. We are here in this beautiful context of Climate Transformation Summit 2025. And of course, I'm very curious to understand what stood out for you so far.
Amazing panels, amazing, also case studies, how actually procurement and sustainability professionals are operationalizing scope 3 decarbonization in their organizations. And that's really exciting. And I'm really happy.
I think all of it coming together here, like in the 6th edition, it really feels like coming home. I have to say that. It feels really cheesy. But we had some participants joining us all these years. Already it's 5 years, 6 summits. And it really feels like a strong community. And especially in this year, 2025, where we all woke up with a big shaking moment, I have the feeling, with politics turning around, regulation being unclear. And I think it really shows like companies are committed, or it's not always a whole company. It's like the people who are working on it really do it from an internal motivation, and then really coming together and not just high-fiving and saying, hey, everything is going well, but really helping each other out and bringing in ideas. That's what makes me really proud of that community and the people taking action.
We want to show, okay, what were the challenges, what ideas did we have, and what did work, what not work. And it's not, of course, only like about data, right? It's also about like what creativity in the organizations and the customers actually they sparked, right? And what new ways of driving scope 3 actions and then making hopefully better procurement decisions in the future that will drive down our emissions globally. Can be taken.
So what are the biggest barriers or challenges that you have either personally encountered or that you see other companies encountering when tackling Scope 3?
Yeah, what we learned from the Scope 3 Action Group, but also from the Climate Transformation Summit, is I think when it comes to Scope 3 and specifically the actions out of that, people still feel often very isolated because it has been overlooked so often, that topic. The data is missing. Everyone is a little bit ashamed of that they're lagging behind. So I feel it's still like one of the topics you don't want to speak so often. And what we learned is to break honestly the taboo. And that's what happened here and in the Scope 3 group so often already. Everyone is like, I have those targets, I don't know how to hit them. Can you please help me out? And then all the others are also like, I'm actually leading the department. We are responsible for the decarbonization and we have no clue. So you really need to start to have that conversation. And the moment you share that, A, all the other people want to help. And then B, you have really a conversation starter, because when you go just to your suppliers and tell them you have to, but you have no clue either, that's not really the direction you can go. But if you start to communicate, and that's the learnings we had here, to say, we actually want to reach there, we have some ideas, what about you? Then the others come in and say like, oh, I actually really have this one business case, and good you ask, and maybe let's co-create it together. And that's what we have been seeing here happening. And that's really also some of the journeys we could now share one year to the other, where we first started with one company working with them, and now it's their tier 2 and 3 suppliers even coming into the same projects and really thinking about circularity, about nature projects, and not just staying on climate, but really bringing it into a broad picture of sustainability.
I think like the biggest challenges and barriers for companies starting out of this, starting on this journey, are actually what I would call analysis paralysis, and not being able to move because it seems so complex. But you can take like everyday steps, right, to kind of like start, right? Just understand, have some conversations with suppliers. What are they doing in climate? Maybe use a free tool. There's so much free tools out there to just do a very quick estimation on what's your scope 3 emissions, right? We don't need, to be, like perfect on day one, but rather start, learn, iterate, right? And improve over time. And I think like that's the beauty of scope 3 and also this community that we brought together here over the past days. Actually, we're all learning together, right? And we make the change. I think there was in one workshop a very good quote. I think it was Abraham Lincoln, I think, who said the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? And I think like that's really important, and I think that mindset we can really observe here in this community of change makers, I would say.
So tell us, what are your favorite best-in-class examples that you would like to share with any company when trying to overcome major Scope 3 challenges?
It's a game changer. I think like having conversations, right? Like every company that we worked with, and you mentioned the Scope 3 action group, right? Like more than 50 companies went now through the program in 4 months, developing a strategy based on actually what's there right in front of you. What are your suppliers already doing? And understanding just the very simple, questions and analysis, just understanding very simply who is doing what. You will have some champions that are far ahead, probably in your supplier base, and working with them because they're already doing something, right? Like working with them and collaborating on projects, like what Lara just mentioned, is really something that every company can start doing.
Now, going to a conference is one thing, but what really counts is what you take back home. So what would it be for you?
My key learning, I really love it, from the Climate Transformation Summit is when you bring 100 people who all work on the same challenge together, there's just the moment for the spark aha moment that everyone shares and understands they have the same challenges and they can find together one solution. And even sometimes 100 solutions, because everyone brings in their own perspective, and then it multiplies so much what we can achieve together and the impact we have. So I really enjoy having everyone here in person and making Scope 3 action happen.
What do you hope to see happening in the field of Scope 3 action until end of the year?
Until the end of the year, what we have to achieve is, I think we still stand in the market that we need transparency first. So far, Scope 3 is for most companies still a black box. We have some leaders here who are like far along the way already, but I think we really still need the data to bring in transparency, and also the willingness to really share with each other where we stand, like on an honest standpoint, and then create actions from there. So I really want us to be on the same page and drive from there towards 2030 to really get emissions down.